My name is Jean-Nickolaus Tretter, and we're talking about various items that are in the Tretter Collection at the University of Minnesota. And this time we're going to talk about some of the uniforms from the gay games that we have in the collection here. I was a co-chair along with Robin Karras of the Minnesota Gay Games team. An interesting thing about the Minnesota uniforms is we decided that we wanted to go all out with our uniforms, and we wanted our uniforms made by gay people for gay people. It was difficult, to say the least. First place, how far do you go? And we had to find somebody, and we did eventually find some lesbians that actually made flannel, and so our uniforms were all flannel as compared to some of the other uniforms from some of the other teams in different parts of the world. And as you can see, the San Francisco ones were more nylon. So we got the material, and then we had a gay seamstress make all of our uniforms, which was really quite an involved thing because we had so many uniforms. Minnesota actually had the third largest team at the first gay games back in 1982. The first largest team, of course, was San Francisco, but that was a city that was sponsoring it. The second largest team was Los Angeles, which is just a little bit further south of San Francisco and has a much larger population than San Francisco. And then came, of all the gay people in all the world, then came Minnesota. Created quite an impression, and it was a very positive impression that the Midwest flyover country could actually send the third largest team to the gay games in San Francisco. We were the only ones also at the gay games where our uniforms were primarily made by gays, for gays.
Why does that cycling shirt say Tretter on the back?
Because that was my uniform. That's the uniform that's here. And I was on the cycling team. I did very badly. I got a participation certificate, but I actually came in backwards. It was funny, the cycling path was laid out in a park, and I was a little bit behind. I'd never done a mass start before, so I had a little trouble getting going, but I got there. I went over the whole course, but took a wrong turn somewhere. And when I came across the finish line, I came across the finish line backwards instead of forwards, so it didn't really count. Like I say, I got a participation certificate, but didn't win any medals. We did. We won a large number of medals. Our swimming team was especially good, which astonished people. They figured that, the best swimming teams would be from California and Florida, but it turned out that the best swimming team for the first gay games, at least, was from Minnesota. They're significant because, people just didn't want to believe that gays could do boxing. They didn't want to believe that gays could do weightlifting. They kind of figured we probably were pretty good swimmers. And of course, we've had gays in the regular Olympics for many, many years. One of the best divers in the world, of course, is Greg Louganis, who is quite openly gay. It's been one of those things where we've needed to, over the years, prove to everybody that we can do those things. It was our glass ceiling. It was one of our glass ceilings. And unfortunately, there are still people and things in the world that need to break through their glass ceilings, but